We have been working on release 10.6 of gCADPlus, and we've added a series of symbols in a gradients folder. So if we go to Library, Plants, Standard and Gradient, we have some new symbols which allow you to adjust the gradient that's within them. So let's bring this one in and we'll OK it and just pop it down here. It's clearly too big for what we're trying to do here, so we'll select it and give it a scale value of 0.25. You can set scale, of course, by dragging the size of the particular symbol in. So you can see this symbol, if we say I'm going to edit it and we pick the circle, you can see that it's filled with a point gradient. That means that there's a blob of colour here in the centre with a starting colour of 254, 117 and 105, so it's a defined RGB or red, green, blue ratio, and it ends with a pink sort of colour. So the blob in the middle is defined by the start colour, the blob at the outside defined by the end colour. We also have an ability to change the length of the gradient. So if it's currently set at 60, so if I set this at 90, you'll see the red move out towards the edge of the block. Now what I wanted this one to show was maybe a concept for an autumn tree. So we'll just put it back to 60 and we'll close from there. I'd like to use this particular symbol in that same gradient set. Might be some sort of apple tree or something similar. Again, these are designed to be used in concept work, and we can select it and right click it and edit it. Now the individual blobs of colour here are formed by a polyline, so if we pick this polyline we can apply a gradient to that particular blob. Let's do that, and we'll say we'll use a point gradient there. There's our starting colour and end colour, and unselect all, and that's what the gradient looks like. What we have been able to do in this particular release is to get the match properties working nicely. So we can say modify match properties, and let's say we're happy with that, and we'll just move around here and apply it and pick individual blobs of that green colour, and you can see how this is a relatively easy thing to do, and I'm quite happy with that as a result. So I'm getting more subtlety, if you like, in, because we can apply some sort of gradient to it. So let's have another one. There's maybe this looks like an apple that's just ripening. Maybe we could change its size a little. Let me edit it. So there was the one we were working on. We could scale it. This time I'll demonstrate scaling by clicking in the center, coming to the outside and just reducing it, and unselect all. So again, match properties. I'm pulling these up by clicking the right mouse button, and I can apply the properties of that and work my way around. I'd be inclined to take some of the red apples. You might even have a different colour palette for it, and then we'll close that block. So let's return, let's zoom extents, close the block editor and zoom extents. So on the right here's a symbol. We've called it GR, so the name of that block is GR Plant 03. That's designed to indicate that it's part of that gradient group, and we've got quite a number in there, and you might like to play with those. So there are a couple of improvements to gCADPlus 10.6. It's currently in test format, so we'd love to hear from anyone who would like to try it, and we'll send you a copy.